Listen, I don't believe that the European Union has problem on democracy issue. Everything that is done in European Union is democracy.
Hello, good morning. I'm Matteo. I will be interviewing you today. We would firstly like to thank you for the honor of joining us here at the ICD in Berlin. And we would just like to ask you some brief questions regarding cultural diplomacy and learn your thoughts about them. So first of all, if you don't mind, we would like to start talking about cultural diplomacy. So how would you define cultural diplomacy?
Well, okay, diplomacy is diplomacy. Culture is culture. When you join the two, then you can have a different result, an important result, and something different, something more close to the people. Okay. So I believe that it is very useful. The exchange of views, many people get together, you can hear several opinions from people of several levels, different levels, and this mix-up could have a result. Of course, not an immediate result, but after years, some of these sessions will have some fragments of new truths. Of course, it is in a level of academic field. We have a lot of let's say, cultures, so we can do this also. It is important because, as I've told you, when people come together through culture or through ideas who have culture and politics, because even culture is politics, even athletics is politics, everything is politics. So you can use this chapter to go on with the other chapters, but perhaps they are more difficult.
Of course.
This is the important issue to do. Since we have a lot of wars in the world, we have to do steps.
Of course.
But the steps now it's urgent to have them, to accelerate them.
Of course.
I mean, we cannot wait for years and ages to finish because the planet is finishing. We have climate change, we have so many wars, so we have to accelerate things.
Of course.
And we have to use all means, even, of course, the cultural diplomacy.
Okay. Play within your own country.
Okay, my country is country of culture, country of history.
Yes,
as I said, we produce more history that we can eat. We don't have a lot of products, but this is a very serious product. So my country traditionally used culture in order to communicate with people. Greece is a country that, when you arrive there, you are you and history. You are you and culture.
Absolutely.
You and the museums. You and the Olympic ideas. So this is something that it's not only ours. It belongs to all humanity.
Absolutely.
Since it belongs to all humanity, and we want to share things with humanity, our history and our culture is the most important product to share with the humanity. Listen, for me, okay, that I'm feminist in the right way, I believe, and I want women everywhere, in any sector, and of course in my country we have made progress, but okay, I cannot say that we're at the level I want. We have always, we must always help women to go upper and upper and upper. And of course, the problem is what? That some women arrive. For example, me, I've been the first woman spokesperson in the history of Greece. Okay. But I have another duty now. I cannot stay there and say I'm the first. I have the duty to help the other women, the girls, to go on. I cannot stay in my level and look downstairs and say, okay, I arrived somewhere, but okay, I'm a woman, finished. No, other women must go on. And I believe that we women first have the duty to do this for other women. Yes, actually it should be.
Okay.
But the problem is that so many, let's say, ages of patriarchy force women, when they arrive to power, to behave like men. But I believe that yes, they have a different way, a more not sentimentalistic in the way we can think it, but yes, with the mind and the heart together.
Yeah.
Of course, we are equal, but we are not the same. So I believe that we can have a good mixture.
Oh, absolutely.
And women, since they were always survivors, because men used to go to the wars, but women had their own war back.
Absolutely.
So, and they had to protect their children. So they are survivors.
Absolutely.
And you cannot go on without women. I mean, anybody that thinks that humanity can go on only with his half of mind and heart, I mean, nothing will happen. Well, we try to do it with several laws. We try to have 40% in our lists. But first of all, people must learn to vote for women.
Absolutely.
This is not easy. But of course, there is a progress. If you think that the first time women voted was in 1952, and after that, after not many years, in 1967, we had a junta in a military regime in Greece for 7 years and a half. There was not so much time because then at that time nobody voted. Okay, so we started again in 1974, quite together with Spain and Portugal, because we had the regimes quite together. So it was not easy. The first woman who was elected, Virginia Chuderu, in 1974, when she arrived in the parliament, the policeman told her, look, wives and other relevants, they can go there.
Oh my God.
She said, no, yes, but I'm a parliamentarian, I'm elected. He said, okay, go upstairs now and stop these stupid things. That was in 1974.
You can really see a progress compared to, it really has been worked on.
Yes, yes.
That's
So,
beautiful.
okay, we complain because we want things to be done quickly, but we had a huge progress.
Okay.
Women in Greece are the most educated. I mean, if you look at the numbers, more girls than boys get in the universities, more girls than boys take all the diplomas. But then what is the problem? The problem is that we don't, after the education stage, which for Greece was always important, for boys and women, in Greece, everybody wants to educate the child, boy or girl. But after that, we had a different point to start the life, because women have to marry, have to take care of the children, so they lose time, they get very tired to the point from where men start their road.
Yeah, I see.
Yes, so we have to diminish this gap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now new couples, yes, boys help the girls and it is different. But some years before, no, women had to do everything.
Okay.
Listen, after the Second World War, and all Europe has started to have democracy and freedom, and everything was okay. So new generations grew up thinking that democracy is something that easy, that it is easy. It is data. And did not understand that, no, democracy and peace must be cultivated day by day.
For sure.
And of course, this is a fault of the governments also. They should have lesson for this, to tell them that not many years before, this was not something sure.
Absolutely.
And of course they say, okay, we'll have democracy, and then after we'll have democracy, nothing happens, because democracy by itself is going to protect us. No, we must protect democracy.
You cannot take it for granted, you must fight for it.
You cannot take for granted democracy. It's the most, it's the most fragile flower.
Absolutely.
They are very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe that is extremely. I mean, everybody, when you say anything, say no, this is not democratic. Even if it is democratic, but it's something like in our DNA. It is in our DNA because democracy was born there, so it was the first parliament there. And even if we don't do what I believe the most, then in the schools they go out, they see where ancient Greeks used to
foster this.
Yes, to talk, to take decisions, to foster democracy. Yes, it's very, very.
That's nice. Perfect.
It's on the roots. It's on the DNA. Listen, I don't believe that the European Union has problem on democracy issue. Everything that is done in European Union is democracy. What I believe, and from my experience in my portfolio, is that there is still a distance between North Europe and South Europe.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting.
It's not a lack of democracy. If you talk to them, they say, oh, you are right. But they cannot understand it because they don't feel it. For example, that's why now we're going to have a new portfolio for the relations with the Mediterranean states.
Okay.
Yes, because the Mediterranean states are the most vulnerable. The immigrants. We are first reception. Then the people of the north say, look, what do you want me to do? Guard your borders. But if they had like Greece, borders.
Right in front.
No, in all over, four borders.
Absolutely.
On the north, on the south, on the east and on the west. Sea, mainland. I mean, it's not easy to understand. First.
For sure.
Second, they say, okay, look your borders. The second, climate change. We are the first to be affected. But they have to understand that with all this heat, with all these floods, because we are close to Africa, okay? Our island Crete is closer to Africa than to the mainland, the Greek mainland. So, we have the floods, we have the heat, yes, but then we don't have the crops. And if we don't cultivate, they don't eat. So, this also is question of democracy. If somebody lives there and does not find a food, cannot cultivate a piece of earth. And this, still after so many years, North and South still decline.
They have different political scenarios, I'd say, which greatly influence that. So yeah, that's a great point.
But I believe with the new portfolio that we are going to talk more.
Okay.
And
yes.
we're going to bring more people from the north, politicians, to see what's going on when we have the floods and the heat. Yes, what we try to do, our Prime Minister mentioned it many times.
Yeah.
What we try to do is to have a common strategic
That's very important, yeah.
Yeah. To have a common army, why not? Why do we have to talk always with somebody? We have all the wars in our neighborhoods. So we have to go to have another step in front.
You would bring it even
we
further.
have economic prosperity, but in order to have peace, we need something more.
Security.
And this is security, yeah.